Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show. So today's deck tech's all about highly trained killers, ready to take out your opponents and their creatures at the drop of a hat. And today's episode comes to you courtesy of Hunter, who's been supporting this channel as a general tier patron, and I truly couldn't do this without the support from amazing patrons like Hunter, so thank you so much, Hunter. And for the personalized deck tech, Hunter wanted a sniper deck with death-touching reach creatures and assassins, and the commander that this one's going to be built around is Teneb the Harvester. Teneb is a 6/6 dragon with flying that costs 3 black, green, white. It has, whenever Teneb the Harvester deals combat damage to a player, you may pay 2 and a black. If you do, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. So Teneb can reanimate creatures, 1 per combat essentially, as long as we can get through and pay the mana. But yeah, this deck is all about taking our opponent's creatures out with creatures that have death touch and reach, or ones that can just straight up assassinate those creatures. And you'll see what I mean by that when we get to them. But yeah, Teneb can help us get some of our opponent's best creatures, can also get some of our creatures out of our graveyard as well. And we may even have some ways to reanimate multiple creatures in a turn, but we'll get to that here in a bit. Let's start things off by talking about some card advantage spells that can actually help us get some creatures into the yard. Dark Bargain is the first one. It's an instant that costs 3 and a black, and it says, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 2 of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Dark Bargain deals 2 damage to you. So there are certain creatures in this deck that we wouldn't mind reanimating, and we can just ditch one of these cards that we get off the top, put it in the graveyard, and reanimate it later. Siphon Mind is one that can help us out with our opponents. It says each other player discards a card. You draw a card for each card discarded this way. Yeah, 4 mana to make each of our opponents discard 1 card and draw 3 is good even if they're not ditching a creature. And if they ditch a big creature, even better for us. Next up, let's talk about some of those snipers in this deck, those reach death touch creatures with Deadly Recluse and Poison Tip Archer. Deadly Recluse is literally just a 1/2, but it has reach and death touch. So although it has basically no power, it has 1 power, it's a very, very hard creature to swing into because it has reach, so it can block pretty much anything, and it's got death touch, so yeah, that 1 point of damage is all it needs to basically take anything out. This thing on its own can stop your opponent from attacking you for turn after turn after turn because they know they're going to be losing at least something when they swing at you. Poison Tip Archer is an even better version of this. It's a 2/3 with reach and death touch, and it says whenever another creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life. This deck is all about destroying creatures, and yeah, this thing can drain our opponents really quickly once we're set up properly. And again, on top of that, it makes a fantastic blocker, and it makes it really hard for opponents to justify coming at us. And when they do, it's going to be ready. But next up, let's move on to some assassin-type creatures with Royal Assassin, Intrepid Hero, and Visari the Dreadful. Now, each of these kind of assassin creatures basically have a tap, destroy target creature ability. Some of them have a restriction like Royal Assassin, which is tap, destroy target, tap creature. So it obviously can't destroy untapped creatures, but it can destroy pretty much any creature that's attacking, anyone that's been tapped for a different reason. Mana Dorks. There's a lot of reasons that creatures tap in Magic, obviously, and this can punish our opponents for doing so. So again, this can be a combat deterrent, but also at a certain point, our opponents are going to have to swing, and when they do, Royal Assassin is going to be ready to take them down. Intrepid Hero has a different kind of limitation. It has tap, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. So early on in the game, this might not be the best assassin for us, but later on in the game, when there's some big creatures on the board, this thing can take out some heavy hitters, and it can be even a deterrent for our opponents actually even playing some of their heavy hitters too. But once they do, and basically they're going to have to at a certain point, we're going to be ready to take them out and then take them for ourselves with Teneb. Visari the Dreadful is another one, and this one actually doesn't even have a restriction. It's a 5/5 flyer for 3 black, 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 and it says tap, destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated. So on top of destroying any creature that we want to with this, it makes it so the creature can't be regenerated. Now, regeneration isn't, that prevalent among Magic cards for the most part, but there are definitely some creatures out there that have the ability to regenerate that, it's not a non-useful thing to be able to destroy something and not be able to regenerate. So it's a nice little addition to have. And again, the fact that it can destroy anything is absolutely huge. It's going to be hard for our opponents to keep things on the field. And yeah, once they do commit to something on the field, we can just destroy it and then take it with Teneb. Now, we also want some cards in this deck to help us destroy multiple creatures in the turn with these kind of assassins. So cards like Vitalize, To Arms, and Ready and Willing are fantastic in this deck, ones that can untap our entire team. Vitalize just straight up says for a green instant, untap all creatures you control. So basically, yeah, we pay 1, and then we untap everything at instant speed, and then all of our assassins can basically take something else out again. Two Arms is the exact same thing essentially, but it also draws us a card. It costs 1 more mana, but that's going to be well worth it. So yeah, again, untap our team, ping everything down, draw a card. It's going to be great. Ready and Willing is a fantastic card for this deck. They'll probably be best out of all these. Ready is the side that we most care about, though Willing can definitely come in handy as well. Ready says, creatures you control are indestructible this turn. Untap each creature you control. So this protects our board as well as allows us to, again, untap our creatures and then retap them. Willing, the other side, says creatures you control gain Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. Death Touch and Lifelink, again, are fantastic. I mean, obviously the Ready side is probably what we're more looking to use this for, but we can use both if we've got the mana for it. Next up, let's talk about a card that can help us double up Teneb's trigger. Fire Shrieker is a fantastic card for this deck. This equipped creature has double strike, very simple, but again, we put this on our commander. Teneb's going to be hitting for 12 now, and essentially hitting for 6 and then 6, so we get that triggered ability twice. Now, we still have to pay, that 2 and a black twice in order to actually get 2 different creatures out of graveyards, but again, turning our commander into a 2-shot kill and also allowing us to reanimate 2 creatures is a fantastic effect. And so yeah, Fire Shrieker is a great include in this deck to help us, win and also get more creatures out as well. Speaking of reanimating more creatures, cards like Debtor's Knell and Grey Betrayal can come in huge for this deck. Debtor's Knell is an enchantment for 4 Orzhov, so 7 in total. It says at the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Yeah, this is just, hey, get a free creature on every single one of your upkeeps. We're going to be destroying a lot of creatures with this deck again, and this just lets us pick and choose whatever we want. On top of, again, Teneb getting us 1 per turn, as long as Teneb's out there and hitting, we're going to be getting a lot of our opponent's creatures, and some of ours are our own out of our graveyard as well. Grey Betrayal is an enchantment that costs 5 black and says, whenever a creature you don't control dies, return to the battlefield under your control with an additional +1/+1 counter on it at the beginning of the next end step. That creature is a black zombie addition to its other colors and types. So this card works amazingly with our snipers and assassins. Again, if someone attacks into us, we can kill something with Death Touch, and we're going to be getting it back with Grey Betrayal, or we can just straight up assassinate that creature, or, any creatures essentially with this kind of attack, and just pick and choose which exact creatures that we want. They come back into play under our control. They're going to be bigger, and they're going to be zombies, which isn't really all that relevant, but it is flavorful. So yeah. So yeah, this deck is all about sniping creatures down and then taking those creatures for ourselves and then taking out our opponents with their own creatures. So it can definitely be a very flavorful, fun, and powerful deck in its own right. And if you're looking to see the entire deck list, go ahead and look in the description below. And while you're at it, make sure that you comment and let me know, what do you think about this deck? What cards would you add, or what cards would you take out? What do you think of this strategy? So yeah, let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks again and have a good one.